What if I told you that a coin the size of a dime holds the history of the Roaring Twenties, a unique piece of American art, and a solid investment in gold? Today, we're taking a deep dive into a true classic of U.S. numismatics, the 1928 Indian Head Quarter Eagle. Welcome back to the channel. The Roaring Twenties were a time of jazz, economic boom, and Art Deco style. But amidst all that change, the U.S. Mint was producing one of the most controversial and artistically significant gold coins in American history. Today, we're looking at a 1928 $2.50 gold quarter eagle, graded MS-62 by NGC. This isn't just a piece of gold. It's a small sculpture with a fascinating backstory. We're going to break down why the 1928 date matters, what the MS-62 grade actually means for your collection, and what this coin is worth in today's market. Let's get started. To understand this coin, we have to go back to 1905. President Theodore Roosevelt wanted to completely overhaul the look of American coinage. He thought U.S. money was ugly and lacked artistic merit. So, he hired his friend, the great sculptor Augustus St. Gaudens, to redesign the gold coins. When St. Gaudens passed away, his student, Bella Lyon Pratt, took over the smaller denominations, the $2.50 and $5 gold pieces. Pratt did something no other U.S. mint designer had ever done before, or has done since. He created an incuse design. Look closely. On most coins, the design is raised above the surface. But here, the design is recessed into the coin. The Native American's portrait, the feathers, the eagle, the stars, they're all carved into the gold. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of a Native American chief in a war bonnet. The word liberty arcs above him, and the date 1928 sits below. The reverse shows a majestic eagle standing on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing readiness for war, and an olive branch representing peace. The motto, "In God We Trust," is to the left, and "E pluribus unum" is above. When it was released in 1908, the public hated it. They thought the incuse design would trap dirt and germs. Can you imagine? People actually worried their coins would make them sick. Because of this, and because of the gold confiscation during the Great Depression in 1933, many of these coins were melted down. Finding a high-quality example today is much harder than the original mintage numbers would suggest. So we've established this is a unique coin. But what makes this specific 1928 worth talking about? Let's look at the specs. The 1928 Quarter Eagle was minted in Philadelphia. There's no mint mark. The mintage was 416,000 coins. That might sound like a lot, but compared to the hundreds of millions of other coins minted annually, it's relatively low. More importantly, the survival rate in mint condition is surprisingly low due to the melting mentioned earlier. Now let's talk about the grade. NGC MS-62. MS stands for mint state, meaning this coin has never been circulated. It spent the last 97 years moving from mint bags to bank vaults to coin holders. But within the mint state range, grades go from 60 to 70. So what does MS-62 mean? An MS-62 coin is a solid, uncirculated example. It will have full, original mint luster. In fact, this coin has that frosty cartwheel effect you want to see on gold. The strike is strong. Remember, these incuse coins are actually easier to strike than raised designs, so they usually look pretty sharp. However, an MS-62 will show a moderate number of contact marks. Look closely. See that little nick on the Indian's cheek? Or those small ticks in the field behind his head? That's why it's not a 63 or a 64. For a coin that's nearly a century old, though, the eye appeal is still outstanding. It's the perfect sweet spot for collectors who want a problem-free, genuine, uncirculated coin without paying the premium for a gem-grade coin. Let's get into the technical details and, of course, the price. Metal content, 90% gold, 10% copper. Actual gold weight, AGW, 0.1209 troy ounces. Weight, 4.18 grams. Diameter, 18 millimeters, about the size of a modern US dime. Because of the gold content, the coin has a built-in melt value. As of today, that's roughly $280 to $300 just in gold. But as a numismatic collectible, it's worth significantly more. Looking at recent auctions, an NGCMS 62 1928 quarter eagle typically sells for between $420 and $660. You'll see variations depending on where you buy it. Retail dealers might be on the higher end, while auctions can sometimes offer a bargain. For a collector, this is a very accessible entry point into 20th century US gold. It's affordable enough for a mid-range collection, yet rare and historic enough to be a centerpiece. So is the 1928 $2.5 Indian Head NGCMS 62 a good buy? If you're looking for a piece of history, a conversation starter, and a tangible asset backed by gold, absolutely. It's one of the most uniquely American designs ever minted. The Incuse design by Bella Lyon Pratt is a masterpiece, and the MS62 grade gives you a beautiful, lustrous coin that looks fantastic in any collection. Are you a fan of Indian Head Gold? Do you prefer the $2.5 or the $5 version? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please hit that like button and subscribe for more coin reviews and market analysis. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.